Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is a cyberpunk bear reading, and bears have been getting a lot of traction lately in the news, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. And we are going to be having an animal totem reading, and I really want you guys to focus in on the thumbnail if you can, please, and choose your pile based on your cyberpunk bear that you would like to choose. And there are 3 bears to choose from. The first pile representing the first bear is the red cyberpunk bear. Pile number 2 is going to be the pink cyberpunk bear, and pile number 3 is going to be the yellow cyberpunk bear. So look at the images on the thumbnail and determine which bear is calling your attention. Before we get into the reading, I'm going to talk a little bit about the bear animal totem and why bears have suddenly gained so much popularity recently. And it's kind of an interesting story. And but those of you that just want to skip and go straight to your pile and watch your reading, you can definitely go ahead and do that, and there'll be links in the description box below. And for right now, I have this red card, pink card, and yellow card on the top of pile 1, 2, and 3 to represent the different colored cyberpunk bears. Now, for those of you that haven't heard, or you're not on TikTok, or you don't watch the news a lot, bears have been gaining a lot of popularity because there was a question that went around recently where it was like they were asking women, would you rather be in the woods alone with a man or a bear? And all these women were picking the bear. And there's a ton of videos on TikTok about it, and it's kind of interesting, but they're like, I'd rather be alone in the woods with a bear than a strange man that I don't know. So kind of an interesting take on society right now. And interestingly, even some of the men on TikTok were jumping in and saying, I would rather be stuck with the bear than another man as well. So anyway, bears, yay bears. Bears are making a comeback. And when we're talking about bears as an animal totem in general, I think it's a really interesting time to be talking about bears anyway, because we are in Taurus season. And to me, bears, they do represent like the spring and summertime, and bears come out of their hibernation in the springtime. And of course, Taurus is a spring sign, and bears are also, pretty larger and fluffy, which some of us Tauruses are a little larger and fluffy, as I know. I am a Taurus myself, everybody. But, and bears love honey. And of course, Taurus loves all the sweet things. Bears also do rest during the winter and basically live off the fat that they've stored up as energy. And to me, that's like, one side of Taurus could be, resting, maybe even on the lazier side when it comes to Taurus, or, that type of thing. But loving honey, loving food, being fluffy and bigger, those are all Taurus types of things. Moving slower in the winter, waking up in the summertime. Interestingly, bears have been associated with the moon and the goddess Diana, representing the ancient world. And for example, like the Native Americans look at bears and wolves as being very close to humans because like humans, bears can stand and walk on 2 legs. And when we look at the symbol of the bear, we can talk about the importance of the preservation of a natural environment, the need to go within and find resources we need in order to survive, to draw upon stored energy, to rest in an inner sanctum of safety, all right? To live off of our stored up body fat and not wastefully consume or wastefully eat things, but to live off of what we've stored up. And so a couple things. Bears have oftentimes been associated as a powerful ancient symbol of fertility and growth, as I mentioned, and they are associated with the spring and summer. And bears go through a cycle of hibernation, resting, relaxing, emerging, and growing. And and so when you're thinking about the bear animal totem in your own life, you could be thinking about what is beneficial in my life right now. What am I hiding from myself that needs to emerge? Am I being too critical of myself? If you need to go within to make an important decision, are you able to do that from a position of power and take the time and have the patience in order to make that difficult decision? Bear energy says, don't hide away when it is time to emerge. Yes, we want to follow our innate cycles of hibernation, resting, relaxing, emerging. But when it's time to emerge, we want to emerge and take advantage of that spring and summertime of growth. And and with bear energy, we also want to make sure that, they love honey. And as such, we want to make sure that we are taking the time to taste the natural sweetness in life, okay? And this reading in particular for this bear animal totem is going to be focused on what am I hiding from myself and how can I help that emerge within, okay? So we are going to go ahead and get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed that little, my little notes there about the bear animal totem. And I am going to go ahead and put the other two piles aside, and we will start with pile number 1. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. If you like my content and you find it beneficial, please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. Tell people, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you want to tell. And in the link below, you will find a link to book personal readings with me if you'd like to do so. And also, if you'd like an astrology natal chart reading with me, details for how to do so are below. Let's go ahead and begin. Pile number 1, you chose the red cyberpunk bear, and today's reading is a bear animal totem message that we are going to be getting for you today. And the focus of this bear animal totem message is, what am I hiding from myself that needs to emerge? Or what is hidden from myself at this time that needs to emerge? Okay, pile number 1. So we are going to take a look for my cyberpunk red bears. Oop, there's the death card. Okay, an ending. There's the Page of Pentacles, something waiting to emerge. Let's see. For pile number 1, please, Spirit, can you show me? Give me a message from the bear animal totem to pile number 1 for their life, please. Bear message. Bear message. Okay. Bear with me, pile number 1, while I get your cards out. Bear with me. Anyway, I'm a nerd. Pile number 1. Let's begin. And what's funny is I also think your guys is out of all the cyberpunk bears, you guys' bear is the more nerdy looking of the bears with the glasses. So welcome to your reading, fellow nerds and nerdettes. Let us begin. 8 of Swords is on the bottom of the deck there, and particularly in this version of the 8 of Swords, it can make us feel like we're grasping at straws. We don't even know what we're reaching for. We're not clear on our objective, and so it feels like we're grasping at straws and we're not too connected to what our actual objective is. And so we talk about that bear energy as going within to hibernate, to come out with a clear objective. So we have the Empress here. Ooh, that is definitely bear energy. Rest, relaxing, taking in, tasting the sweetness of the honey. Okay. Ooh, the Empress and the Emperor. Hey now. And I've got this card I'm going to read to you guys. It says, get your timing right. Timing is critical in business, sport, and in love, relationships with other people. Deciding on your strategy or your plan is essential, but it is only as good as it is appropriate for the situation. Don't rush like a bull in the china shop. Wait, and when the time is right, don't hesitate. And that bear energy really teaches us to, hibernate and wait and chill and then emerge, right? And It's funny because I was associating the bear energy with Taurus energy in the beginning, and the bull in the china shop is pretty funny. But yes, timing is critical in the art of war, in business, in sports, and in our relationships with other people. Okay? But your plan is only as good as it is appropriate for the situation. Don't rush in like a bull in the china shop. Wait, and when the time is right, don't hesitate. We have Aries. Oh my gosh, of course, it's rush, 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 go, 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 impatience, impatience, impatience. I want it now, okay? I want it now and I want it my way. And it's good to be on a mission in life and to be, but this can be where we're arguing about trivial things, or people are like selfishly pushing their own view of the situation. And I am getting something about an exhilarating new beginning where it's kind of, pedal to the metal, and it's going to take a lot of confidence and daring and fierce assertiveness to make that happen. Okay. And, this Empress, I feel like, is sitting back and saying, what is it that you're going to do, with this Emperor? What is it that this Emperor is bringing to the table that I don't already have, or that I can't already do for myself? Okay. And some of you may be struggling like with, I want a relationship. I want to find, my divine counterpart, Emperor, Empress here. But at the same time, I don't really want to give up my independence. I don't really know where this person would fit into my life. I have what I need anyway. My life is pretty good as it is, with the Empress here showing up. And I feel like something you guys are asking is, how can a relationship add to my life and not fuck it up? And maybe there were times that you tried to push forward on a relationship issue, but the timing wasn't right. It wasn't the right time for that. And so let's see what else we have here. We have awakened awareness. There are many levels of awakening. Okay. Sometimes we awaken through our partnerships and through our relationships. Keep learning and putting yourself into situations where you can grow. Stay aligned with your inner guidance. I would also say, pile number 1, to stay aligned with your inner confidence. Okay. Stay aligned with your inner guidance and your inner confidence, and do what you love to keep your vibe high. Seek not instant pleasure, okay, but substantial and sustainable joy, all right? And sometimes with the Aries energy there, we want something instantly, or we want it immediately, Eat healthy, keep your body active. Yeah. And it talks about sports here. Of course, Aries is a very sporty type of a sign. And of course, the Emperor represents Aries in the tarot. So we have a lot of Aries. We have a lot of Mars and Venus energy in your guys' pile, which is, of course, the divine lovers. But eat healthy, keep your body active, and have life goals, but with enough space to hear the answers to your prayers. Yeah, and the 8 of Swords may be where we're confused, and we're not in a space where we can hear the answers to our prayers. Find a unique way to connect to the divine inside you, not as an external seeking, but as a receptive allowing. The Empress, a receptive allowing someone to show you, allowing new situations and new people into your life. Receptive allowing. Be inspired to see the question at hand with a different perspective. Look between the lines for a deeper interpretation. Okay. And, the Aries energy is really kind of saying to me, well, if I don't get it right the first time, then fuck it. And if they don't get it right the first time, then fuck it. Okay. And, yeah, so let's see what we have here. Work on your third eye chakra is coming out under this Emperor, okay? And that is about, the intuitive awareness of when to strike when the iron's hot and when to hold back. We have pioneer, that is Aries energy, pioneer, okay? Passion for doing and creating what has not yet been done before. Now, here's the thing with the Empress. The Empress is doing really well and has the abundance and the, clearly has found a formula for doing something that is successful. But I see the butterfly here in the background, and I feel like, yes, there is a lot of success, or yes, there is a great bounty that you have made for yourself, but it might be time to try something new, okay? Especially for those of you who've been holding yourself back from dating or putting yourself out there. And it's like, why would I do that? I have all that I need here, okay? And, I also feel like there could be somebody too that you maybe misjudged a little bit as well, pile number one. Like your judgment is off a little bit about this person. You were unclear about their intentions, so you just wrote them off type of thing, okay? But anyway, we have the pioneer here. Passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Yeah, that is, and then the shadow attribute of the pioneer is a compulsive need to just keep moving on. Oh, fuck it didn't work, bye. They're not adding anything anyway. I don't care. Screw off, pile number one. And that's a very Aries type of a, ball busting attitude. It's so funny because I was just watching a video. I've watched The Sopranos lately, and they always talk about busting people's balls all the time on there. And I just think it's kind of funny. You busting my balls, pile number one. But anyway, a passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Yeah, because the Empress has done a lot. Okay, as the Empress here, you've done a lot already. You've already created a lot for yourself, but what about trying something you haven't done before? But also sometimes too, we're too quick. We're not patient enough. We're too quick to write someone off, or we're too quick to just misjudge a situation and go, yeah, whatever, and just keep, grasping at straws kind of things. And, it says here, card number 25, release the dark wound, let love live. Oh my God. And this person is releasing a fish back into the sea. Okay. And some of you may feel that your intuition is off when it comes, especially for my women here, you may feel like your intuition is off when it comes to men, or that you don't really care anymore, or you're just like, whatever, and some of you here could have been like, yeah, I do need to release a dark wound and let love live in my life a little bit more. And it's interesting with the water and the fish, because bears, I think they go into the water to hunt for fish, right? And, it's like the releasing of the fish, like there's more fish in the sea, right? And there's always a lot more fish in the sea, when something doesn't work out and the timing isn't right. But at the same time, if we are compulsively moving on without giving things a second thought, that can create a lot of confusion, So anyway, pile number one, you need to kind of decide what side of the fence do you err on. Are you someone that has a problem releasing the dark wound and letting love live, or not a problem, but you're working on that within yourself? Or are you just like ignoring shit and moving on and not maybe being patient enough to let the love grow? Maybe both, pile number one. We have the sun here. It's time to come out. It's time to illuminate. It's time to let something shine. It's time for vulnerability. The sun, there's usually on traditional tarot cards, there's a baby, riding the horse. Could you imagine any more vulnerability than that? A baby on a horse with no saddle, just, staring into the face of the sun. That's pretty vulnerable and open. And look at me We have here, ooh, I love it. The Six of Cups. Care, tenderness, tending. Look at these two. They're both tending to the same thing that is growing so beautifully together. Vulnerability, you know, assists us in opening our heart and healing those wounds and allowing something to grow naturally in the right timing. And the Six of Cups is very much a summer type of a card with the sun. Some of you may be over the summertime seeing something grow or seeing something new being nurtured in your life, where, you know, the sun is very healing as well. It gives us, you know, an opportunity to, like, you know, grow and expand, and the warmth is very healing. Six of Cups, very warm energy, you know, very essential to life, right? Like that we have some warmth around us, that we have some hugs and kisses and touches, and that we are able to, you know, and what it shows me here is a couple who is caring for something together, whether that's caring for a garden, caring for an animal, caring for a child together, caring for a project together, like, you know, a new world of opportunities opening where you can actually, you don't always have to do it alone, where you can nurture something with another person. Pile number one, okay? Oh, we've got the Five of Cups. Oh yeah, the pain. All right, the pain of what I thought something was there, but now I feel so empty. Okay, my cup was full, but now I feel like it's empty. And yeah, I'm also seeing if somebody got a piece of hair in their food, like in their soup or in their cereal, or they were out to eat and they found a piece of hair in their food, or you're eating at home and you found a piece of hair in your, you know, or you found something floating around in your cup, you know, water or something, some foreign substance. And it's like, what is that? And, but I also feel, for those of you that have that happen, but I also feel there's a deeper message here of needing to listen to your pain and needing to understand your pain more and listen to yourself when you're in pain and you're not in the mood for something, and working on understanding that pain and those wounds. Release the dark wound and let love live. And maybe before you do that, you really need to listen to your pain and understand where it's coming from and embrace it a little bit so that you can heal and move on, right? And, you know, it's like I need to listen to myself more when I'm in pain about something and I'm struggling, and I need to pay attention more to how I'm feeling. And if I am feeling a certain way, I do need to pause and sit with it for a little bit. And, you know, I need to listen and trust myself more when it comes to the feelings that I'm getting about something, is also what I'm seeing here. Pile number one. And there could be a situation where trust was broken, and pain was, you know, a lot of pain was felt. Okay. And I feel like you guys are people that you listen to other people's pain a lot, or you listen to what they're going through a lot, but sometimes you need to listen to yourself with that, is what I feel. Okay. To understand, is the timing right to open myself up and grow and heal and let this person in, or do I need some more time? Okay. And understanding that balance within yourself. Pile number one, okay? I feel something developing for you guys over the summertime, though. Particularly in the month of June and July. I see something starting in June and expanding into the summer, okay? But right now, maybe it doesn't feel that way. Maybe it doesn't feel like the time is right now, and maybe it feels a little like you need to grieve something, okay? We have the Ace of Swords. Through knowing and understanding your pain, you know and understand the pain of others as well. But you gain new insight into why something didn't work out, why it wasn't the right time, why like certain relationships ended the way that they did. I feel some of you need to study a little bit the ending of your prior relationships, okay? And what was happening within yourself emotionally as those endings approached. And, you know, have you been the one to end things, or has it been the other person? Have you been the one that felt abandoned or left behind, or was it the other person? Okay. And how is that impacting your view on relationships now and your wantingness to be vulnerable with things? Okay. And through releasing the dark wound comes a brand new realization for you guys, that you kind of see a pattern that I feel you didn't even see before, where you were kind of grasping at straws. I feel like now you see a pattern that you didn't even notice before, okay? And it really does help you going forward as you move forward in your, timing in relationships and things like that, okay? So pile number 1, that is what I am getting for you. That's an interesting message, pile number 1 from the Bear Animal Totem. I hope that that reading resonated for you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments, and your feedback. Take care, pile number 1. Let's move on to pile number 2. Okay. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the pink cyberpunk bear. I hope you guys, maybe you can hear my wondrous puppy barking a little bit in the background there. Welcoming you to your pile for this beautiful bear reading. And I love your pink cyberpunk bear. This is a bear animal totem reading. And I gave a little bit of advice in the beginning of the reading about what bear animal totem is. You can always listen to that if you like. Bears are having a comeback right now. As a lot of people say, they would rather be lost in the woods with a bear than a man. So anyway, I mentioned that in the beginning. It's all over TikTok right now, and it went viral, all these women saying, I'd rather be stuck in the woods with a bear. Anyway. Pile number 2, let's go ahead and get into your energy, and let's see. The focus of this bear animal totem reading is, what are you hiding from yourself at this time that wants to emerge? What's hidden within yourself that wants to emerge? And how is the bear animal totem bringing this out? Let's see, what is the message here from the bear animal totem to pile number 2? Let's see, pile number 2. Queen of Swords. Ooh, I like it. A fierce warrior for all that is true, just, and right. And, ooh, I like her shoes too. Those are some sexy boots going on there. Let us go ahead and take a look. We've got the 6 of Swords. Okay, we've got the 2 of Wands. All right. Just as you think something is over, and it reappears into your life again. Just as you've moved on from that job offer or that person or that situation, it pops back up unexpectedly. And, bear energy can sometimes, I compared bear energy to Taurus energy. And, we are in Taurus season right now, and the bear has a lot in common with that Taurus type of energy. And for numerous reasons, I don't need to go into all of them, pile number 2, but very much so. And, sometimes with the 6 of Swords, it's like, okay, we made up our mind about something. we decided on something, we decided to let go of something and move forward on something, and then all of a sudden, poof, something comes back in surprisingly, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And now it's like, we have to make a decision about something all over again, pile number 2. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, it says only engage in conflict when all other alternatives have been exhausted. Now, this Queen of Swords, I was going to mention something about her, you know, where she is very, you know, wanting to call out what is wrong with a situation or what is not going right with a situation, and may even be a little bit argumentative. Have you been feeling argumentative lately, pile number 2, or have you been pointing out to people a lot where they're wrong or not right? Or have people been doing that to you? Have people been pointing out and you've been feeling really defensive because somebody keeps pointing out something you did or something you said, and it's like, don't fucking come at me, bro, right? The Queen of Swords is like, if you come at me, I'll come back with receipts upon receipts and everything, okay? So that can be, you know, and the Queen of Swords in the tarot represents Libra. Libra is, you know, more of a peacekeeping sign, but Libra is also about fairness and can be quite, you know, talkative or angry or, you know, having a lot to say when they feel like something isn't fair or there is an injustice that is happening. And that can really bring out the attitude in someone. Okay. And, yeah, so let's see. Only engage in conflict when all other alternatives have been exhausted. Now, keep in mind, bears can be, you know, you run into a bear, you're going to be a little bit scared, right? But bears don't attack right away. They're not an animal that's just going to go and engage in pointless tit for tat conflict with people. They only engage when they need to, okay? So we can learn a lot from the bears in that sense of, you know, being patient with the situation and letting it pass and not like wasting energy. So it says only engage in conflict when all other alternatives have been exhausted. We tried every other thing, but it's not working, okay? Fighting is one way to achieve something, but it is never the best way. In all relationships and all situations, there are all alternatives to conflicts in which there are no real winners. Okay, you know, we can propose the use of deterrence, strategy, alliances, negotiation, and even making friends with your enemies. Now, the Queen of Swords is very gifted in making strategies and alliances and also conducting negotiations and even making friends with your enemies. These are examples of supreme excellence in negotiation through life, okay? And the Six of Swords is where we're not going to let anybody interrupt our stride. We're not going to let anybody slow us down. We've got to keep on moving, okay? And so we're just sailing through particular problems that come up, and then we're sailing through life and everything is smooth sailing. And then all of a sudden, the Two of Wands, Mars and Aries energy comes up and is like, wait, what are you doing? Wait, I think there's a better way you could do that. Wait, I don't think you should be steering your boat in that direction. Wait, I don't think that, you know, like, let's do it my way instead of your way. I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it my way, okay? And so there could definitely be some of that energy that is going on around you right now, pile number 2, okay? And Mercury's going to be in Aries here for a little bit longer, and we still, you know, Mercury's in Aries, it felt like forever with the retrograde and all of that. But people being kind of spicy or shifty or thinking that they have a better idea than you or a better solution than you, when you've already made up your mind and you're already deciding to do something a particular way. Oh, we've got Mars and action, okay? And Mars brings competition, excitement, thirst, impatience, okay? Thirst as in, I need a drink of water, I'm thirsty, okay? There's too much heat sometimes with Mars, and we need to balance out that heat and excitement and impatience with, with cool, calm, collected energy, which is very much Six of Swords, Mercury in Aquarius, cool, calm, collective, a scientific thinker, a logical thinker, somebody who is looking at the big picture, but then someone else jumps in here on this Two of Wands and is like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, you didn't do this. Hey, you didn't do that. And, it says anger on this card here too, and we've got the boxing gloves. So them is fighting words. You know what I mean? Pile number 2. And there may be somebody that comes to you that has they're demanding that you take an action on something right now. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that right now. There is a process, or there is a way, and it's not you demanding what you want or need, okay? So handling conflict and handling heat, handling Mars, and maybe you guys with the Queen of Swords here, you guys are the ones that can handle that in a very, in a very clever, in a very professional type of a way. And for some of you, this could be work situations or issues that have been blowing up with friends. There could be issues around plans and going somewhere and where someone is going and where someone is headed. This could also be family stuff. Someone has a clear-cut plan of how things should go, and then somebody else busts in and is like, no, this is not, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, so I am feeling that type of energy here, pile number 2. And maybe some of you have been dealing with this really since the Mercury retrograde in Aries happened last month. But it says here, radical expansion. It's time for radical ways of being and thinking. And you can start by granting yourself the freedom and creativity to be you. Unleash your inner dragon. And unapologetically claim your heart-based empowerment and unconventional gifts. You can be as big as your energy wants to be, okay? Let go of limiting stories and take up all the space you need. Have fun unleashing who you are. Be as bold and radicals, and it says here, as bold and radical as your ideas or offering might be, they could be just what the world is waiting for and what the world wants. Be the masterpiece your soul has always wanted to be. And if you feel like with this Queen of Swords that you're continually compromising to other people all the time, and the least that these assholes could do is leave you alone so that you can do your own thing, but they're always, I kind of feel like sometimes pile number 2, that people are showing you this kind of conflict or showing you this kind of rub to show you where you maybe have compromised too much on something. And you're like, you're always being the bigger person, and you're always like, okay, all right, I'll let it go. But then it's still not good enough, or it's still somebody's got a problem, And so you may need to push back on something and get a little feisty and say, hey, appreciate your input, but no, and that type of thing here. Oh, we have work on the root chakra. All right. And, really grounding in your own perspective and not letting other people influence you so much, being really, really solid in what you're doing and what you're working on. Now, as I mentioned, the bear energy does have a lot to do with Taurus. The bear represents springtime and summer, coming out of hibernation in the springtime. Bears are, love honey, like Taurus is very sweet and loves sweets. And bears are also associated with the goddess Diana and the moon, and the huntress, which is all, the moon's exalted in Taurus. So there's all these things. And the root chakra is very much that earthing energy. When people are trying to engage me in their tit for tat, or they're arguing, or they're fighting about something, I'm just going to ground myself and take a deep breath and pick my battles wisely, okay? And we have here mother. Interesting, okay? Mother. So some of you may be going through a conflict right now with your mother, or a mother type figure, or a female in your life, okay? It says nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. And shadow attributes of the mother can be smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Wow. And some of you could have had a mother like that, or been around a mother like that, who was more on the smothering side of things and would guilt her children for becoming more independent and having their own way of thinking and their own way of doing things, okay? And maybe as a result of that, pile number 2, it feels like you're always like, you know, compromising to other people all the time, and you're always like, okay, all right, fine. And I think there is some of, you know, good strategy in that, because we only want to engage in, you know, direct hand-to-hand combat when all other alternatives have been exhausted. But perhaps there is this radical expansion in your life right now. It's important for you to stay very grounded, and it may not be the time for other people's opinions to be taken into account so much, you know? Oh, wow, yes. We have new birth, guarded vigilantly. New birth, guarded vigilantly. And there's the butterfly on her shoulder here, the green butterfly on her shoulder. And when we're going through new birth, it can be, you know, when we're giving birth to new ideas, to ourselves, you know, it's a very vulnerable time. And of course, you know, there was this story I read about bears, and how when they have babies, their babies are born, like, they're very vulnerable. They can't see. They're just, in the winter time is when they're born. And the mother feeds them. And then after wintertime, they emerge with the mama bear. And they have to be strong enough at that time in order to kind of keep up with their mom as their mom is moving. And it just talks about that whole process of, and it's interesting because I'm doing this reading on Saturday, May 11th, and Mother's Day is tomorrow on Sunday. And so it's very interesting that this is bringing up about mother and the light and shadow attributes of mother. And when, you know, we have to be a good mother to ourselves. And when we are going through a new birthing process within, we do have to be really grounded, be patient with ourselves, take our time, feeling connected to the earth, feeling connected to ourselves, head not in the clouds, but head firmly, you know, firmly focused. And, you know, the root chakra is about focus, okay? Focus, discipline, control within ourselves as we're birthing out a new process here, pile number 2. So this bear animal spirit reading, asking you to look at the relationship with your own mother, perhaps, and look at, you know, maybe where you've compromised too much sometimes in your life in order to keep the peace. And when you are going through a new process of emerging, then, you know, being able to guard that vigilantly without letting others interfere. You know, you wouldn't want to get in between a mama bear and her cub. You really wouldn't want to, right? That's the one time where you'd probably rather be with a man in the woods than with a bear in the woods, because the mama bear with the cub, yeah, that's a no. Oh, look at the cub. It's the Page of Cups. Oh, the little sweet Page of Cups. And Temperance. Oh, okay. And we have here the Ace of Cups. Okay, the Ace of Cups. And You know, there is something with this Temperance about feeling joyless or not feeling happy with what you're doing. And again, with the compromising, always feeling like it's a lukewarm process and you can't fully give yourself to what it is that you desire or what it is that you're doing. And it's like kind of skirting on the edge of things without giving yourself over fully to something. And there is also like a lot of love and affection I feel for you guys, pile number 2. Like somebody does have an awful lot of love and affection towards pile number 2, but pile number 2 may feel sometimes that, for those of you that are kind of like the moms at your job, okay, and people are constantly, you know, needing things from you, or you're constantly having to balance all these priorities all the time. For those of you, like, it was funny because I used to work with a girl when I used to work in the corporate world. She wasn't a girl, she was a woman, but she was like the mom of our whole team, and she would always order snacks for everyone and always order dinners when we'd be working late. And she was like the mom of the group. And, you know, she had all of these responsibilities that she had to do, but on top of it, she took it upon herself to care about other people and to make sure that other people had what they needed. And, you know, I feel some of you have been doing that for a long time, like being in that space of helping others and, you know, carrying a lot of responsibility. And it's almost like you do it without thinking about it. You just kind of find yourself in that role of wanting to watch over others, the Temperance angel, and wanting to help others and watch over others. And I feel like there's people in your life that really genuinely do appreciate it, but sometimes it may be a lot for you guys. I also feel for those of you that are wanting to work on a creative, artistic project that you've been wanting to do for the longest fucking time. Like, I mean, ever since you were a kid, ever since you had this idea, maybe you even really thought of it long ago. You've been wanting to do this particular artistic, creative project, and you've had this idea for a while, but you've been putting it off because you had other responsibilities and other, you know, keep in mind when you have a mama bear, like the mama bear is responsible for the growth of her cubs and making sure they're strong enough. And when you're responsible for the growth of something, you know, like putting love and energy into a family, putting love and energy into, like, if you're, for instance, if you work in academics and you're trying to grow your area of research, or I'm just giving examples, or you're a hairstylist and you're trying to grow your clientele, but you've got all these other responsibilities as well, and you're trying to kind of do everything and handle everything. I do feel like there is some relief that is coming for you guys, and this is the Ace of Cups that is coming in to help you guys with what you're working on and what you're doing. I feel like your inner child is going to be very happy and very pleased with what you're working on, and I feel like, you know, there's a buoyancy that comes from that, from exploring these new areas and these new territories and doing something that you really love, that you've always wanted to do when it comes to certain projects, is also what I'm seeing here for you, pile number 2, okay? You know, in life, with Temperance, in life, we have to work with what we're given. You know, we don't always have a lot of the special benefits that other people get, but, you know, our creativity is our creativity, and no one can take that away from us. And I feel you guys have a special gift with this Ace of Cups that's been given to you, as far as, you know, artists, painting, drawing, creativity, projects, creative projects that you're working on. You have been blessed with, and some of you may be healers as well, Reiki, massage, Reiki, everything under that umbrella. You have been given a very special gift in an area here, pile number 2. And in order to expand upon this special gift that you've been given, it's really important that you're grounded. And, in order to be grounded means taking care of yourself energetically. It means, cleansing, and it means spaces where you can be vulnerable and maybe even be like a kid again, exploring the things that you really love. And, yes, it involves taking action. And I feel you guys are blending 2 different things together, 2 different skills together. And it really is a special gift. Pile number 2, I can't stress that enough, because not everybody can do what you do, okay? And for those of you who are trying to train someone else to do what you're doing, and you're gonna be taking on a mentor, or you're wanting to find a mentor, okay? For those of you who are mentoring, keep it up. Spirit loves it. It's a beautiful gift that you have for teaching and mentoring. For those of you looking for a powerful mentor to help and guide you, there is a mentor coming through here, okay, who loves you and loves what you're doing and wants to help you. All right. And, and I feel for some of you, a female mentor. Now, because of how maybe your mother was and different things like that, maybe you're not always too trusting of, anybody, or because you've seen the way that sometimes relationships can be, that you're hesitant to get involved. And, for those of you taking steps now to become a mentor to someone yourself, you may be a little bit afraid, or you may be a little bit like, I don't know if I can do that. And I don't want to damage anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to, do anything wrong. I feel like Spirit is saying, don't worry. You are so amazing, so caring towards others, and you're so lovely towards others, and you're going to be attracting people who have a similar heart to you, who are like you, who really want and respect and need that mentoring, okay? And, when we're being mentored, or when we're mentoring other people and there is new growth happening, we have to guard that new growth vigilantly, and we can't be letting other people come in and destroy what we're so delicately working on, And we have the 2 of Swords here, which can talk about the indecision in how to approach something or how to do something. And I also feel like maybe you guys were like, well, if I just, there's something you've been ignoring for a while, and it's something that you love. It's something that you're good at. It's something that you could learn from someone else, or that you could teach someone else. And, don't ignore the call within your own soul, because you guys have a really big heart and a really big gift, like I've said. And pretending like it's not there isn't going to make it go away, and isn't going to make your yearning to do something go away either. Do you know what I'm saying, pile number 2? It's still there. It's still there, okay? And maybe there's some indecision as how to make it work with all your other responsibilities that you already have. And I understand, it's a serious thing when we're mentoring other people, and there's a lot of responsibilities on our shoulders for the way that things go. And maybe you guys are like, I just don't know if I'm ready for that. I feel like Spirit's like, you're ready. You're either ready to be a mentor, or to, go and work with some very talented mentors yourself, okay? You're ready. You're ready for that, okay? And maybe for the longest time you didn't think you were ready, but no, you're ready. Mars, action. Action, action, we want action. You are ready, okay? So that is what I am getting for you guys in pile number 2. I hope that that reading resonated for you. What an interesting reading. A lot of stuff I wasn't really expecting with the whole mama bear thing, but anyway, pile number 2. Take care, my loves. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number 3, you chose the yellow cyberpunk bear, and today's reading is a bear animal totem reading, and we are asking what you are currently hiding from yourself that needs to emerge. Talking about bear animal totem with the hibernation, the resting, the relaxing, but then the need to emerge from that, okay? So we are going to look into it for my beautiful pile number 3s and see here, what does the bear animal totem, cyberpunk yellow bear, need to let pile number 3 know, please, here. What does the cyberpunk yellow bear want pile number 3 to know? Let's see, guys. High Priestess. Ooh, your guides are near and channeling you in this reading, pile number 3. Let's see what we've got. We've got the 9 of Wands. Ooh, the warrior bear standing up on 2 hind legs and rawr. There's the warrior bear. We've got the 9 of Swords there. Shit, what did I do? Okay, and then we've got here okay, so I'm going to read this. This is prevention is better than the cure. We are all generals in our army of one. Yeah, 9 of Wands, spiritual warrior. We are all generals in our army of one. We are responsible for how we live and relate to others, as thwarting an enemy's plans is better than laying siege to their city. So looking after your health is better than waiting until you get sick. And managing your budget is better than falling into debt. Be responsible for yourself and others. Prevention is worth an ounce of cure, anyway, that whole saying, you guys know that. Looking after your health is better than waiting until you're sick, and managing your budget is better than falling into debt. Be responsible for yourself and others. And, 9 of Wands, fierce generals in our army of one. And then the 9 of Swords is, oh shoot, I should have tackled that problem. I should have, faced that problem. I should have just gone for it. And now I'm worried that there's something more wrong with me, or there's something that I don't know. And maybe some of you here have been worried about your health, like, oh, I haven't been feeling well. There's been something going on. I'm seeing the chest area, the stomach area. I'm also seeing pain behind the knee or around the knee in the leg here. Okay. And I also see something with the shoulder. So pile number 3. Now, hopefully you don't have stuff in all those areas of the body, but for those of you who resonate, it's better sometimes to go for it and go after it and try to figure out what's wrong instead of, sitting in our anxiety with the 9 of Swords, sitting in our anxiety. And for those of you that have been having financial issues as well, or you've been really worried about the money situation, and it's been hard to kind of get control of, and you've been doing your best to stay on top of it, but it feels very overwhelming. And as soon as you get one thing paid off, another thing pops up, and you constantly feel like your finances are barely hanging on, or you're just barely making it, this type of stuff. And it really has you worried, and it really has you wondering, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, you know, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like shit physically? Why do I feel like my money sucks right now? You know, that type of stuff. For those of you that are dealing with that, my heart goes out to you because I've been there myself. Pile number 3 for sure. We have Pisces here, imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathetic, adoring, magical, dreamy, okay? And the High Priestess is very much like that energy of Pisces and the mystic. And I love the High Priestess. I love Pisces energy as well too, but maybe there is, you know, a part of yourself that is kind of escapist in a way lately, pile number 3, where it's like, well, if I just ignore it, the problem will go away. Or it feels like, you know, Pisces, sometimes it can be a little hard for, especially for people that have, you know, chronic illness, or people that have ADHD, or people that have, you know, any of those types of things. It can be really, really hard to focus. It's so easy to get distracted and let things build up and then totally be worrying about them. And some people are more imaginative and less detailed. You know, Pisces is the opposite sign to Virgo, which Virgo is going to make a list of everything and define everything. And Pisces is not necessarily going to do all that. And maybe sometimes there is like a little bit of dissociation, or a little bit of a lot of focus on the spiritual with the High Priestess, but maybe there is a lack of dealing with the problems until they build up to something more. Okay, because I feel you guys have a very sensitive soul, pile number 3. And, you know, sometimes that can make us more escapist or dreamy, or kind of impractical about things. Or we wait until something gets really, really bad and then we really start worrying about it. So I've been there, pile number 3, myself too. But we have, your card here is Mount Shasta, and it says, aware Lemuria would be destroyed, and its people traveled to other parts of the globe. Mount Shasta was one of the places the Lemurians journeyed to. There are tales of unusual phenomena and multidimensional beings living inside of Mount Shasta. Yeah, High Priestess, a connection to all those channeled energies. This card is about the origins, and the image is the seed crystal in this deck that this deck is based around, okay? Honor and look more deeply into your ancestry, both your bloodline and your etheric lineage, your spiritual lineage. Do you have an affinity with any star beings? Connecting with them might allow you to gather insight into your traits, your strengths, and your challenges. The sacred places you feel attracted to may have an intuitive message for you. Wow, pile number 3. I've had that happen to me too when I've gone to visit certain sacred sites, and the energy just like was, whoa, like extremely overwhelming and complex and interesting, and you know, open to all these different insights. And do you guys connect to certain spiritual lineages through particular places? Pile number 3. Now this is very much bear energy. Keep in mind, the bear symbol is a very, very ancient symbol, to the point where one of our constellations, Ursula Major, is actually a bear. And people would look to the constellation to guide them, and would watch the constellation in the sky. And, you know, very much interesting energy here with the affinity with the star beings, and connecting to star beings and connecting to multidimensional beings that some of you here, you're mystics, okay? You are imaginative, you are empathetic, you are mystical, you are magical. And yeah, and you're a channel for these beings, all right? And I love in this card, I feel like this High Priestess is really connected to the trees as well, and like nature. And perhaps some of you are connected to like, you know, you have bloodlines that are connected to like nature religions or pagans or Native American or this type of thing, or your ancestors were, you know, practicing druids or this type of thing, okay, or were nomads that moved around and lived in different places and connected to the land in a special way. Like, you know, for people that come from that, from lineages and everything that come from that level, high level of spirituality, like, you know, the material world can be quite a struggle and quite a challenge. We have work on the heart chakra here, okay? So you guys have the yellow bear, and you guys also got some green here. Work on the heart chakra. And the green also reminds me of abundance and healing around issues of self-worth and abundance, okay? And perhaps some of you have a hard time like charging for what you do, or you have a hard time, you know, understanding like your worth when it comes to abundance or money, or it's sometimes hard for you to even accept a compliment or to even accept money for what you're doing. Pile number 3, you are very deserving for all the hard work you've done with this 9 of Wands. You're very, very deserving. And to question that within yourself, or to question your worth like that, I feel like, you know, the bear animal totem is coming through to tell you to work on your heart chakra here. Wow, we have the mentor card. Oh my God, I was talking about mentors so much in pile number 2. Isn't that funny? Now the mentor card shows up here. And this is passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Okay, that is the light attribute of a mentor. And the shadow attribute of a mentor is the inability to allow the student to move on to the role of the master and imparting false instruction. Now, maybe some of you dealt with some very bad mentors in your life, and you felt like they were constantly, like you were constantly sick. And you know what? That makes sense when I talked about the abundance and being able to get paid for what you're worth and all of that. But if you had a mentor that was very hard on you and would make you very nervous about what you were doing, and it seems like they never really wanted you to grow, or they never really wanted you to move into the role of doing the thing yourself, okay? So Spirit really wanting to talk to you guys about your mentors and the mentoring that you've received so far, okay? I also feel some of you have had like spiritual mentors in the ethereal world, and you connect to these mentors when you're channeling, or when you're doing energy work, or when you're healing others, or you're working on your own connection to the divine. There is spiritual mentors that are showing up for you guys, okay? And this is interesting. And perhaps some of you had a fight with your mentor and you're worried about it, or you feel like they were always testing you and there was never, like, it felt like you were just never good enough, okay? And that sense of self-worth and being able to grow, right? The green here and the growth and the self-worth and being able to grow is very much a heart chakra issue. And it also is very tied to the bear animal totem of growth and fertility. And so, you know, of course, bears are very much like care for their young and help their young to grow strong so that they can go off and be bears on their own. You know what I mean? And that's what mentors are supposed to do. They're not supposed to keep people forever and like beat down their self-confidence and then make them question every single thing they learned. Now, I'll tell you a little story, pile number 3. I had a teacher who was very much like that, very tough, very challenging person, you know, and you never got a sense that you were done with anything. And of course, we're never done with anything in life, right? That is not that hard to understand. But this person I would often observe him, like, kind of gaslighting his students, like, oh, you're the best, you're these elite students, you're my students, you're the best, you're elite, and then tearing down students as well too. You're nothing, you don't know anything, you're shit, you basically haven't accomplished anything here. Not even giving people their certificates when they went through, year-long programs with them, even though they did amazing on their exams, etc. Like this type of, piggish, rude behavior. Maybe some of you here have had mentors like that, and it has been really hard for you to find your own sense of self-worth and your own fighting spirit within. And maybe you felt like, well, if I push back, I'll lose this mentor, and then I'm not going to be able to grow at all. And I do feel like when we come up to this energy, I do feel like the bear totem is a very protective totem, and it does represent the energy of, fierce protection of the young and of people as they're growing. And I do feel like your guides are coming through in this reading. They're telling you have a very clear channel to something, pile number 3, and perhaps you needed some direction on managing that. But at the same time, your connection to spirit is your connection, and it doesn't belong to anyone else, okay? It doesn't belong to that mentor. It doesn't belong to anyone but you, okay? And that is your true source connection to spirit, okay? And for those of you who are wanting to work on your sense of self-worth and abundance around the spiritual work that you're doing in your life, I do feel like this reading is a call through this bear animal totem of, protection and strength and honor. These are the symbols that come through the bear animal totem that are very much, the 9 of Wands is very much, the protective, proud, strong energy that comes through the bear animal totem. So yes, we have card 33 and heaven sent. Ooh, look at the light around you and your head and your third eye chakra, your whole body, really, your whole auric field. And spirit just saying, you are a heaven sent gift to the world, pile number 3. And, you are being mentored, I feel like, by higher beings that have your back, that are keyed in to the channel that you provide for them to feed through information. And it is a crystal clear channeling, my friends, here with this heaven sent. Okay, so do not doubt your connection to spirit. Do not doubt your connection to the higher realms. Do not doubt your connection to your bloodline and your etheric, energetic resonance that you have with higher level beings. Do not doubt that. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't need teachers and we don't need mentors. The 9 of Wands represents the moon in Sagittarius, which talks about nurturing teachers that know how to mentor and teach their students how to be really strong and disciplined warriors for the work that they're doing, but don't beat their students down in the process. You know what I mean? And perhaps it's time for you guys to find a new mentor and find somebody who really has the ability to pass on the wisdom, but isn't gonna, tear you down in the process. Interesting reading, pile number 3. We have the Knight of Wands. So much of what you do has to do, yes, you are picking up on intuitive messages, an intuitive channel and a connection, and sitting in that connection is very important for you guys. But the outer product that you're bringing to the world, I feel with this 9 of Wands, look at her, like, it's a lot of sacral chakra activity. It's a lot of, whether it's dance, performance art, music, You know, there's something that comes alive within you. And for some of you, it may involve some type of performing, dancing, etc. on top of what it is that you're doing. There's a really seductive drum beat and a real sense of owning one's sexual power and sexual magnetism with the Knight of Wands. And I feel like that is you guys. It's a very seductive, but also beautiful energy. We've got the Moon card here. Yes, you can see the wolves howling at the moon in the background. And, and some of you here, I do feel like you have a very powerful sexuality, but it may not have always been, you may not have always known how to use it, or you may have even felt like your wildness or your inner wildness was not respected in the way that you would want it to be, okay? And I'm talking about the inner wild feminine within. I'm not really, and I know that there's people coming to the reading who don't identify as being feminine. I'm not talking about, man versus woman or anything like that. I'm talking about the inner wild, chaotic, like dancing in a drum circle and spinning around a million times and falling over and puking up the peyote and, all this kind of stuff. Pile number 3. I'm talking about this kind of stuff. And it's very raw, okay? There's something very raw and sexual and wild in your spirit that is really connected to other realms, is what I feel, okay? And sometimes through dance or performance art or these types of things, like it can take us deeper and deeper and deeper into ourselves, where we're having all these inner realizations and we can't even really put them into words, but it's better felt through movement, through sexuality, seduction, writing, performance art. It's better felt than it is said. You know what I mean? And people, for those of you that do performance art, I feel like when you do it, it has a major impact on people. Or for those of you leading circles or leading meditations, or you're wanting to be doing hypnosis or things like that. Whoa, your guys' ability to lead people into altered states of consciousness is wild. I feel like pile number 3, it's wild. And it's very natural medicine, I feel like, that you bring to people that helps clear them of pain and suffering. Now, with such a wild gift that you have, I see why you would want a mentor to help you harness it and control it and use it in the best way possible. Okay, but I also feel like there could have been mentors that took advantage of you. Pile number 3, maybe even took advantage of you sexually in ways that were not appropriate, or sexually, saw that raw energy and that raw power within you and became very attracted to it in some way, okay? And anyway, pile number 3, this is I wasn't really expecting this reading. This is, there's the devil. Yep, there it is right there. That's exactly what I was talking about. Somebody who comes into your life as a mentor, and it may not even be a formal mentor or a formal teacher. Perhaps it's somebody who, does work in the field that you do, and they're a peer, and they show up when you're at an event, and they're like, oh, I love what you're doing. Let's collaborate on something, like this type of thing. Okay. This person, though, is not what they seem to be. Okay. They're not. Pile number 3. And I feel some of you already know this. You already know that they are a no good, dirty fucking seducer, and that they want to get what they can out of situations. And they're a user, and they do use people, and I feel like you guys have become a lot more aware of these types of people that exist in the spiritual community, because you've run into someone and you run into some of them before, and you know just how toxic they can be, especially when they're trying to act like they're mentoring, you know, somebody younger or newer in the field, or they're wanting to collaborate, and it's like what they really want is to have sex, or what they really want is to be a pig about things, you know? And pile number 3, I'm so sorry for those of you who've gone through that experience of being around. And for you guys, you know, the whole thing where the whole bear thing started because on social media, on TikTok, people are like, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? And, you know, women were just going off. So many women were stitching that video on TikTok and were like, I'd rather be with the bear than the man. Okay. And some of you here could have run into some pretty shady characters. You know, they could have been very sexy, very like enticing, very tempting. And it doesn't have to be a man that you ran. It could be another woman, but you run into some very, you know, enticing, tempting characters that have picked up on your wild, like, you know, primitive, wild, sexual, healing energy. And it's like they want it for themselves, you know, and they're trying to capitalize on it, or they're trying to use it to their benefit. And it's like, oh, hell no, you know? So I do want to point that out. Yeah, 10 of Wands. Some of you could have moved in with a person like that, or traveled with a person like that, or you were joined forces with a person like that, and they were a really, really bad person and very, you know, narcissistic, very, even maybe psychopathic, acting like they were going to help you, acting like, but you ended up like moving away from that person, or you ended up leaving that person, or you ended up, you know, and I feel like it's like, oh my God, like I can't carry all this. It's too heavy. And we see a bull here, okay? A big brown bull here walking next to her with the horns out and everything. And some of you are already very connected to animal totems anyway, as it is. But I feel like you had to leave this person on the road, or you had to walk away from this person, and it could have been very inconvenient. Like you had no place to go, or you weren't even sure where you were going to go after that, okay? And you weren't even sure what you were going to do. You just couldn't fucking deal with that energy anymore, and you had to move on from it. And, you know, for some of you with the heart chakra here, it could have really hurt you, because it's like, how could that person be so cruel? I trusted them, and they were very cruel, not only to you, but to other people too. I feel like this is just how they are. And you could have been left like moving on your own with basically no place to go, and basically just your possessions. Like, I've got to leave and I got to go somewhere. I can't stay here anymore. Okay. And, you know, as you fell in deeper with this person, I feel like perhaps the worst it got. And some of you, like I said, could have been in domestic situations with this person as well. Okay. And, you know, I do feel like the situation in a weird way did teach you something important about protecting your energy and, you know, protecting your like wild, primitive, free spirit that is within you, and understanding that no one owns your connection to the divine. That is your connection. That is your talent. That is your spirit that was given those gifts, not this other person. And yeah, and I feel like the bear energy is actually coming through for you guys in a different way than in the other piles. The other piles had their own, you know, energies coming through, but I feel like yours is coming through more as a protective energy, carrying you through a very, very hard time that you went through. Okay, and the bear animal spirit wants you to work on your heart chakra and, you know, work through those energies, possibly through meditation, healing, with the Pisces energy here and the High Priestess working on some of those. And also too, for those of you that are often getting sick because you just find yourself lately getting sick more often than normal. And a lot of it has to do with this emotional situation with this person. Okay, if you've just been finding yourself getting sick randomly, like all of a sudden my health isn't doing well, or all of a sudden I'm not feeling well and I'm sick, a lot of it has to do with the emotional residue from this situation coming out in a physical way. Okay, and perhaps there's some energy work or things that you need to see a doctor or go have some energy work, but a lot of this physical stuff is from this situation with this user person. Okay, and for some of you too, the money could have gotten kind of fucked up here as well. Your money could have gotten fucked up because of this situation too. And some of you here, I feel like you've been working on healing your connection with spirit. You've been working on healing your heart ever since this happened. And you're a lot, with this Knight of Wands here, you're a lot tougher about protecting yourself these days, is also what I feel. So good for you, pile number 3. I wish you the best on your healing journey, my friends, and hope that you all take care. Many blessings.